After unit 1, we have also started studying the unit 2, that is the retail store location. Retail store location is very, very important, because retail store location is very, very important, because uh, it is the place once a country is decided, a region is decided, a certain trade area or neighborhood has been decided. It's very, very important to have a specific site on which we can open our shop, and this retail location should be made in such a way, it should be identified in such a way that it will be a maximum target, desired target market is tapped by this retail site location. The various factors that are affecting the establishment of retail site location, certain ideas or certain points, certain factors that has to be kept in mind while deciding or establishing a retail outlet. The main points. So we'll understand first. First, we have to select the area from which we are going to, in which we are going to set up the retail outlet. So first we have to decide upon that. Then comes the choice of the site. What kind of site do we want? We have to decide the kind of the site, the place of the location should be easily such that it is easily accessible to the consumers. It has the maximum target consumers visiting or trafficking that place, or it is in a very high traffic area or district. So these are the way in which we can make the choice of the site. Then we have to decide upon the scale of operation. The retailer should decide upon the size of the business. The size will depend upon his financial and managerial capacities or the resources available to him. Then the connectivity and ease of traffic flow is also very, very important. What kind of traffic flow is there? What is the connectivity of the area? If it is proximity to residential area, proximities to the public transport facility, these all things should also be considered. Like Karol Bagh in Delhi, as well as is well connected with roads and rail traffic and neighboring cities. So depending upon the connectivity and ease of traffic flow, also the retail outlet can be decided. Then comes the cost effectiveness. The whatever retail outlet that we are going to take, whether the particular retail outlet is cost effective or not. Because if it is not very cost effective, we do not find that we can make enough business in that particular retail outlet, but where the retail outlet is very, very costly, then it is very difficult. Therefore, selecting the retail location is the cost factor is very, very important. The retailer should remember what is a good site and understand how costly it is. So cost effectiveness is something that should be kept in mind. Then comes presence of competitors. We have to look at the various competitors that is present in the particular retail site. Depending on that, we can decide upon a retail outlet location. Then comes the source of supply. You have to understand from where these merchandise can be supplied to our store, how far it is the store, the retail outlet is, retail location is accessible, the availability of supplies, the reputation of the brand, the price range, and the distance from the shop, and the means of transport should be considered while deciding upon the source of supply and deciding upon the retail location side. Then comes the indexation of retail saturation. We have to see how much of saturation or competition exists in the market. That will enable us to understand whether to open our shop in that particular retail location or not. Then we have to see at the various infrastructure available, and the kinds of roads, highways, and the distribution warehouses and communication facilities available, the kind of labor pool that is available. These things will also be kept in mind. Then comes the amount of capital that we're going to invest, and also finally the parking facility and visibility of the store is very, very important. General idea for parking facility is that proper parking facility means that is generally there is no universal formula, but generally it is considered 3:1, where 3 foot of parking space is considered for every square foot of retail store. Generally used parking facility, if it is provided, then the customers can visit the store without any tension. So parking facility is one of the reasons, basis on which we can decide upon the retail location site. Then finally the visibility of the retail site is also very important. The retail site should be properly, location should be properly visible to the target marketers, consumers, because then only it will be easier for the consumers to identify the store and make purchases. And the legal and regulatory environment, what are the various legal and regulatory environment is that should be kept in mind. How, what are the restrictions on working hours, noise intensity during media promotions, all these things have to be taken into consideration. And finally the personal factor should also be taken into uh, consideration, like how far is the retail location site from the house of the owner or the retailer. These things has to be taken into consideration. So retail, this is the reason why the retail location site is very important, because it helps the retail organizations to make profit. A good location, retail location is very key element for attracting customer. A well located stores can easy make supply and distributions easier. Also, a well placed retail store can also help influence the buying habits of the consumer. So there are various reasons, and similarly meeting the immediate demands of the consumer and fulfilling the urgent orders of the retail outlet will not be difficult. These are the various reasons why the retail location site is very important, and there are various factors which should be kept in mind while deciding upon the retail site location. Now coming to the various store locations that are available, there is a freestanding or isolated store where there is no other outlets in the vicinity of the store, and therefore the store depends upon its own pulling power and promotion to attract customers. So these are known as freestanding or isolated store. Then there is a part of business district or centers or unplanned shopping areas. This means these areas have developed with the time, and these are unplanned business centers, and these have developed historically as the center of trade and commerce in the city or not. And this part of business district, and there is central business district, secondary business district, and neighborhood business district. Depending upon the central business district or the secondary business district and the neighboring business district, we can open our retail site. Then comes to another is part of a shopping center or planned shopping center. Here you are being a part of a mall or a shopping mall or a shopping center, where there are certain anchor stores are there. There is a proper planned way in which the shops are made, and there is a proper parking facility is there, and it may be in the form of a shopping center, maybe in the form of a mall or a strip center. A mall is a typically enclosed, climate controlled outbuilding. A walkway is provided in front of the stores. A strip center, on the other hand, is a row of stores where parking is provided in front of the stores. So again, this part of the shopping plan or a shopping center or a planned shopping centers is one of the ways in which the retail store location can be done. Then again, this part of a shopping center or planned centers should be like, it may be a regional shopping center or a neighbor or a community centers. So these are the various kinds of retail location sites from which the retailer can decide. Once the retailer decides on one of the stores in which they want to buy and open their store, they can decide whether it's a freestanding or isolated store they want to open, whether they want to be a part of a business district or unplanned shopping areas, or if they are interested in being a part of a shopping center or a planned shopping centers. Now, where are we will also try to understand what are the steps involved in selection of the right retail location site. This is very important, that market identification analysis should be done before deciding upon a particular retail location site. Then demographic of the particular market should be also taken into understanding. What is the income group of people, the religion, the lifestyle, the profession, and the consumer behavior of the demographics of the market, that should be taken into consideration before opening this retail location or zeroing upon retail location. Then the characteristics of household in the area, what is the income level, what kind of purchases they want to make, what is the education level of the households, how much is the disposable income of the household. This should be taken into consideration. Then comes the market potential evaluation, where we have seen that how far the market is having the capacity to buy products that we are selling. If you are opening your shop, a very five-star hotel in a rural area, the chances of the market potential is very less. But when you are opening that five-star hotel in a very high traffic area in a centralized business district, then the market potential will be more. So the market potential evaluation should also be done while deciding upon the retail site location. Then the accessibility and amenities of the market should be taken into account. How far their public transport is available, roads and infrastructure is there, this amenities like parking is available. All these things should be taken into consideration while deciding upon the retail site location. Then comes identification of alternatives. Once you have done undertook all the first 5 steps, then comes the identification of the alternatives. We have to identify the various alternative location site that we have come zeroed in upon, and then after identifying the alternatives, we have to choose the best alternative. Then finally, we have to choose the best and the most suitable location for the retail outlet. So this has to be done. So in this way, we can find that these are the various steps that should be followed in order to get the maximum proper retail location for our site. Then after understanding the retail location site, another topic or another thing that should be kept in mind is the traffic flow analysis. Traffic flow analysis is very, very important because this traffic flow analysis tells us what are the various places of the store or the outlet that the our customer is trafficking or moving, and what are the various places where the customers is moving and buying products, and what are the various parts of the stores where the customer is not going and not making any purchases. So this traffic flow analysis is very, very important for the customer to understand. A lot of companies like Retail Next are providing this using this CCTVs and providing this recordings and Wi-Fi facility they are using, and providing this data about the customer traffic flow inside the store. Similarly, the online stores, they can also tab what are the various people they are entering to the website, online website, and what are the purchases they are making, and what are the product categories that the online shoppers are generally looking. So these are the various things that the online retailers are also doing. The flow of traffic is very, very important because the flow of traffic in a store may hamper the convenience of the store. Therefore, it is very important for having a strategy for providing proper shopper space to the customer. So every retailer would want to provide his customers entering to stores to circulate the entire store. That is the reason the traffic flow analysis understand. Once we understand the traffic flow analysis, we can understand what are the various places where the customers visit our store more and or frequent the store more, or more traffic is found in those areas, and we can strategically place merchandise on these places. So that is the reason why the traffic flow analysis is very, very important. And that is similarly, if you can see impulse buying products like chocolates and cold drinks are placed near the billing counters. So these are the ways in which we can understand the traffic flow analysis. After understanding the traffic flow analysis, these impulse buying products are generally placed in billing areas. Similarly, fresh grocery items are generally placed at the last of the at the end of the store, because this will encourage the shopper to move through the complete store in order to make purchases. So first we have to understand the traffic flow analysis. This will help enable the retailer to understand the flow of traffic in the shop, and then he can place the products accordingly in order to see that maximum profit is done. Then comes, after understanding the traffic flow, then comes the store layout. Store layout is very, very important. Store layout is nothing but a design of the store's floor space and placement of items within the store. So it is a way in which we can understand what are the places for the placement of items in the store. And this should also be as per the customer's behavior and also upon the traffic flow analysis. So depending upon the traffic flow analysis, the people understanding the traffic flow analysis, the retailer can design its store layout. So it is very, very important. Store owners choose where the best spots are the place the merchandise, and helps them to design the customer flow as well as the ambience within the store. A well-planned retail store layout allows the retailer to maximize the sales through which the per split area profitability increases. So that is the reason very, very important. The store layout generally shows the size and location of each department, any permanent structure, fixtures, locations, and customer traffic patterns. There is a guide in which we can use this store layout to maximize the space. First, what are the certain guidelines are there? If we look at the guidelines, first is we have to target the first floor. Whenever the customer enters into the market, they enter into the first floor, and if they are interested, they move to other floors. So generally, in order to provide a smooth traffic flow, they have to first target the first floor. Then comes the second guideline, to identify the customer flow. Once we are understanding the identify the customer flow, we can understand where to place the products properly, merchandise properly. So that there are companies like Prism that provide this crucial information about traffic flow patterns, and depending upon these type of patterns, the retailer, the size of the store, and the target audience, they can identify the customer flow. Then comes, there is a transition zone. We have to avoid the transition zone. Zone is also known as decompression zone. It refers to the space just beyond the entrance of a retail store. Whenever the person or a customer enters into the shop, there is a decompression zone or a transition zone is there. So this is the place where the customer familiarizes itself with the new environment. So not very high margin merchandise, prominent signage, and other brand information should be provided in this transition zone, and this transition zone should be avoided. Then we have to design the clockwork navigation. Generally, it is seen that the person visiting the store moves to right of the store in order to make purchases, and then moves around the store in an anti-clockwise movement. So the proper navigation should be done, proper format should be placed for that. And then we have to remove this narrow aisles, because generally when the people want to make purchases, they want proper shopping experience, they want proper shopper space should be available to them. They don't want they should be bumped upon, they should be touched. So proper this narrow aisle should be removed, and this wider aisle should be placed in that. Therefore, avoid narrow aisles and corridors when planning the store layout. And finally, another guideline for setting up the proper store layout is proper utilization of the store space. This store, we have to strike a balance between the space used for display and the service area. If you are properly utilizing this store space, then only maximum profit level can be ensured. And there is another step, that is select the right floor plan. While designing the store layout, the floor plan plays a critical role in managing the store flow and the traffic. The choice which one is right will depend upon the number of factors like the size of the store, the product that you sell, and more importantly the target market. So this will depend. A lot of variety of floor plans are available, or store layout are available, like the grid layout, racetrack, diagonal, or free flow layout is available. Each of this layout have their own advantages and disadvantages, but we have to select the right floor plan and the right layout in order to see that the store layout is proper in the shop. Now, after understanding what are the guidelines for having a proper store layout, we should also understand what are the various essential retail store layouts that is available for the retailer, from which the retailer can choose. So there are certain essential retail formats. As we have discussed, there are four. First is the grid store layout, where you can see in the diagrams all the items merchandise are showcased in a grid format. There is a bakery, fruits, vegetables, electronics, clothing. There is a checkout, the single entry and exit, and where cards are placed on the left side, and the dotted lines tells uh, the way in which the customer flows in the grid layout. So this is an example of a grid layout. And then there are certain advantages and disadvantages of this grid layout. And then comes the loop and or the racetrack layout. As you can see from the diagram here, all the merchandise are placed in a loop. Like you can see, there is a customer service snack bar, then the health and beauty, restrooms, appliances, stationery, toys, home electronics, sporting goods, all these things, seasonal goods, all these things, automatic goods, they're also placed in a loop way, and there is a single entry and exit, and also there is a checkout counter. In middle, there is a boys clothing, girls clothing, men's clothing, grocery items are also available. So this is an example of racetrack or loop floor layout, store layout. Then comes the diagonal store layout, where you can see the dotted lines tell the how the aisles are being made, the racks are being placed in a diagonal manner. There is a central entry and exit format, and there is a dotted line shows the customer flow pattern in the diagonal store layout. And then comes the free flow layout, which is combination of all the three. It has all the grid, diagonal, and also the racetrack kind of aisles format is used. You can see there is note and a particular way in which the merchandise is displayed, and there is a proper entry and exit, single entry and exit, and the customer, the dotted line shows the customer flow and how the customer flows throughout the entire outlet and then moves to the checkout counter. So here the free flow layout is used. So all the four layouts have their own advantages and disadvantages, but whenever the retailer chooses upon the particular retail layout, they have to see what kind of product they are selling, what is the kind of experience they want to give to the product to the customers, and what kind of customer flow they want to maintain in the store. So depending upon this mm, layout, these things in mind, the customer should, the retailer should decide upon this layout. And while deciding upon the layout for the retail stores, careful consider of what are the products that is being sold, desired consumer behavior, and square footage that is actually available. If you have a lot of dissimilar products, consider a grid. A grid layout is generally considered. A smaller number of products may work for free flow arrangement, but if you want the shoppers to slow down and browse each and every, and consider mixing loop and free flow styles. So these are the way in which the four layouts are available. In each layouts have their own advantages and disadvantages. So we have to keep that in mind. And then comes the another thing, that is retail store image. This we have started in this present class, and till this we have completed. And if you have any doubts, go through the video. We have also discussed all these topics in video format. We have given in videos, you can see in YouTube. And also all these things have been discussed in our Google Meet classes. So this is also a very brief revision of what were the topics that we have studied. Go through this video if you want to have any doubts. If you have any doubts, no need to panic, contact me. There will be examination, internal examination. This will be added in the final marks. So please attend this examination. And the various topics that we have discussed till now, we revised. These are all the topics that will be coming in the examination, apart from the store, retail store design and image. So please go through that. If you have any doubts, contact me. No need to panic. And finally, thank you for your attention.